Back here on CBS Sports HQ, the Tour Championship is underway out of Atlanta. Getting a look at some results from round two. We have a tie at the top there with Tommy Fleetwood and Russell Henley. We're hoping that Tommy Fleetwood can hang on and get his first win on tour at the Tour Championship. Cam Young, one of the biggest risers up the leaderboard out there in Atlanta. Scottie Scheffler, we know Scottie is always in the mix there, and this is where the leaderboard stands as round two wrapping up there from Atlanta of the Tour Championship. And let's bring in our golf analyst, Doug Bell, here for a round two recap. Doug, great to see you. Tommy Fleetwood, he was asked if he had thought about, hey, if your first win on tour happens to be the Tour Championship, have you thought about it? Seems like a lot of pressure, right? 6 birdies on the back 9, but do you think, what is your confidence level in Tommy Fleetwood actually finishing strong and being able to win this thing?
Well, Jacqueline, first off, I'm rooting for him. He's a great guy, and he let one slip away 2 weeks ago in Memphis. A very talented player. He's been knocking on the door for a long time. He's carrying that annoying tag of the best player without a win on the PGA Tour. Cameron Young got rid of that about a month ago. The thing he's doing, he's putting fantastic, and especially so far in Atlanta for 2 days. For the 3 weeks of the playoffs, he's hit more fairways than any other player. He's the best off the tee. Today, for example, missed only 1 fairway. So he's an accomplished player. He's been on Ryder Cup teams. He's won 8 times over in Europe, never on the PGA Tour. And this would be a big one, Jacqueline, because it's the FedEx Cup. He would get a $10 million bonus. But he knows better than anybody else. 36 holes to go. And we should say Eastlake is playing easier this week than it ever has in 3 decades because of the rain and the soft conditions. So we'll see if Tommy Fleetwood can keep the hammer down. Look at that leaderboard. Man, there's some good players chasing him, so it's going to be a fun weekend.
Yeah, we're going to get to all of those players that are chasing him, and you know, an extra $10 million bucks, that doesn't hurt, right? Just a little bit of added pressure. So Tommy Fleetwood, he's sitting there at T1 right with Russell Henley, who had an awesome birdie from the sand on 1, and then on 18 hits a 14-foot putt for birdie there as well. He has been on fire. What has impressed you most about Russell Henley?
It's been a great year for Russell Henley. He wins the Arnold Palmer Invitational earlier this year. He's already on the Ryder Cup team. He's qualified. He's one of the 6 auto qualifiers for the Ryder Cup. He beat Scottie Scheffler today playing in the final group by 3 shots. So he wasn't nervous playing with world number 1. He's a guy who's been around a long time. He knows his strengths. He's not a long hitter. He's a good iron player. He's a great putter. And he's putting it all together. So he's been very impressive. And today, by the way, was kind of treading water and then drops a birdie at 17 and then at 18 to close strong to tie for the lead. So Russell Henley, again, I'm not shocked that he's there. It's been a great year. In fact, arguably the best year of Russell Henley's career. And he's had some good ones. So not a surprise that he's up on top of the leaderboard.
Let's get to Cam Young because he had a fantastic day. It's like a birdie fest if we look at his card. Shoots an 8 under 62, the best score of the day. How confident are you in Cam Young being able to just kind of build upon this incredible round that we saw from him today?
Well, Jacqueline, I'm very confident. Here's a guy who wins finally at the Wyndham Championship, the final regular season tournament on the PGA Tour heading into the playoffs. Had his best putting week ever that particular week, and the putter has remained hot now for about a month. And remember, this is the guy 2 years ago was 8th in Ryder Cup points and did not get selected. Zach Johnson left him off the team, so he was a bit disappointed 2 years ago. He's trying to earn his way onto that Ryder Cup team. He's from upstate New York. Bethpage Black is his favorite golf course, so he wants to be there. And I think what Cameron Young is doing, Jacqueline, is playing himself onto the Ryder Cup team. And maybe he'll end with a win here in Atlanta to go along with that win at the end of the regular season. So, yeah, very confident in Cameron Young. He's the hot guy right now. All
right. No matter how confident we are in any other golfer, I feel like we are all the most confident in world number 1, Scottie Scheffler, and for good reason. I'm watching Scottie on my couch yesterday, Doug, and there's like this monster putt. I'm like, there's no way he's going to make it. There's just no way. I should learn by now to stop saying that about Scottie Scheffler because he's sitting here at 6 on the leaderboard, but I don't care where he is because I feel like he's always going to be in it come the final day of any tournament.
You know, Jacqueline, it's interesting. If we're under the old format where he would have started at 10 under par, he'd be the leader. He'd be 18 under par, but we're back to just a regular tournament scoring. And so he's kind of middle of the pack. But the thing is, right, even when you're in the middle of the pack at the Tour Championship, there's only 30 guys. He missed that putt, and the putter was a little off today. He has a chance, and he knows that better than anybody. But let me just say this about Scottie Scheffler. Even though he won the FedEx Cup last year at East Lake, nobody's ever gone back-to-back, by the way. This is not his favorite golf course. If you look at his scoring numbers over the years, yesterday was the best round he'd ever had in 21 tries. Today, he did birdie 18, which was much needed. But that was the kind of day it was all day for world number one. And sometimes, listen, they're not machines, right? Sometimes you have off days. A 69 is not as good as, listen, the average today of the 30 players was just a tick over 66. So Scottie was well behind the average today. But Jacqueline, as you said, you know he's going to bounce back on the weekend. That is almost a sure thing.
It's what he does. It's typical Scottie Scheffler behavior, right? Want to get to a guy who didn't have the best round one, but really got things together in round two, and that is Chris Gotterup. He is 7 under for the tournament, chooses 63 today. So how impressed are you with his ability to kind of have some short-term memory, go out there in round two and have a way better round two than he did at round one?
Jacqueline, you nailed it. Short-term memory. That's what the good golfers have, right? You have one mediocre round, even par on Thursday, put it in the back burner, erase it from the memory banks, and that's what he did. He went out and fires a super low round today. And again, Chris, the putter, has gotten hot ever since he won the Genesis Scottish Open. This guy's starting to click. He's from New Jersey. He wants to be on that Ryder Cup team. I would think between him and some of the other guys, Cameron Young and others, maybe his odds are a little longer for him to get a call from Keegan. But I was very impressed. 63 was a nice bounce back. And again, that just goes to show you, right? Only 30 players. You go 70, 63, you jump up, and you're in contention. So we'll see what happens with Chris Gotterup. Another young player who has figured it out. He's gotten hot at the right time.
Let's get to Rory McIlroy, shall we? Because if we look at his card, overall a clean card, 3 birdies out there. What do you need to see? What more do you need to see, I should say, from Rory McIlroy here as he's sitting there right at T7?
Well, tonight he needs to be very nice to his putter, Jacqueline. Rory needs to take it out to dinner, put it in bed, and, do whatever he can to make the putter happy, because today the putter did not cooperate. Again, he has those early birdies and then finally drops a birdie at 18. But time and time again, 10 through 17, he had a lot of good looks, and he just could not get the ball into the bottom of the cup. That happens. Rory knows that better than anybody. He's the only guy to ever win 3 FedEx Cups. Even the great Tiger Woods only has 2. So Rory would have liked to have had a few more birdies today, but look at that. He just burnt edge after edge. We'll see what happens. And I will say this about Rory. He did not play in Memphis. He skipped that event. So I think heading into the weekend, it's a tough walk at East Lake. It'll be hot and humid and muggy. And maybe he has a little more gas in the tank than some of the other guys because he took off Memphis. I think that's legit. So we'll see what happens with Rory. And again, different from Scottie, who struggles at East Lake, doesn't play great. Rory loves this golf course. It's one of his favorites, as evidenced by his 3 FedEx Cups.
We keep talking about the Ryder Cup, right? So let's talk about the Ryder Cup team captain and Keegan Bradley, who is 6 under through 2 rounds. The putter has been on fire. It feels like the golf gods just want him to be able to choose himself, right? We just showed like a 71-foot monster putt yesterday. How impressed are you by his putting and how it's just been on fire?
Well, Jacqueline, listen, he's the 5th ranked American in the world rankings. He's the 5th ranked American. If he wasn't the Ryder Cup captain, he would be a cinch pick for whoever would be the captain, right? The fact that he's the captain adds a lot of debate. Should he pick himself, which ironically, the last time you had a playing captain was Arnold Palmer, 1963 at East Lake. So how do you like that, right? So Keegan, I think what he's doing, he's a competitive guy. If he goes on to have a great finish this weekend, maybe a top 5 finish, who knows? Maybe he puts the hammer down and wins. I think he would pick himself for that Ryder Cup team. That's the big story, Jacqueline. Aside from the Tour Championship and Tommy Fleetwood and Scheffler, the other big story, will Keegan pick himself for the Ryder Cup. We'll know next Wednesday when he has the big announcement at the PGA of America.
Yeah, so let's dive deeper into that because we have the U.S. Ryder Cup standings as they are right now. We have the qualifiers, obviously. Keegan Bradley, he is one of the guys that very well could make the team. But do you think, as we're looking at the potential picks there, Doug, we see Keegan Bradley, and he's right there with Maverick McNeely, who's having himself a good couple of days as well. I know you kind of already alluded to it, but do you see Keegan Bradley ultimately choosing himself over Maverick McNeely for the U.S. Ryder Cup team?
Well, public opinion is he should not do it. It's too big a job to be the captain and also being a player, especially in this modern age. I disagree. I think he can do it. And one of the reasons why I think he may do it, Jim Furyk is a vice captain, Webb Simpson a vice captain, Brandt Snedeker a vice captain. All these guys have been named. They're all experienced former Ryder Cuppers, and so they can take care of any duties that Keegan may have, whether it's a press conference or whether it's going out to check on a match if he's playing. I think Keegan is going to pick himself. As for Maverick McNeely, he's actually ranked above Keegan Bradley. So if Keegan picks himself, he'd have to explain why not Maverick McNeely, who's actually ranked higher than you are. So listen, I love it. Golf doesn't have a lot of debate unless it's Ryder Cup time. And so next week, Jacqueline, it'll be fun. We're gonna be debating who he left off and who he picked. And I hope he picks himself because, like I said, he's ranked 5th among the best American players in the world. I think Keegan deserves to be on his own team.
Yeah, we know experience and being in that environment certainly matters. Doug, we appreciate it, giving us a Tour Championship Round 2 recap. Great to see you, Doug. We'll have much more on the Tour Championship, of course, throughout the week right here on CBS Sports HQ. For a betting perspective, make sure you check out Sportsline's The Early Wedge. You can download, follow, and listen wherever you listen to your favorite podcast, or you can watch right now by scanning that QR code on your screen.